Hi friends, my name is Aqil Ahmed, and in this particular video tutorial I will show you how to get the file name from file path in SSIS and then insert that file name value into the SQL Server table. So this is my profile. I have 13 plus years of experience on Microsoft technologies, especially in SSIS and SQL Server. So the agenda of today's video tutorial is how to get the file name from file path in SSIS and then insert that value to a SQL Server table. So let's jump to the demo. Right now I have two files on my file system, which is email underscore 20210620 and then email 20210621. So I want to store this file name value in a column in a SQL Server table. So let me just show you what is the data we have in this file. So we have a couple of columns like ID, first name, last name, email, and this gender. So I want to add an additional column into the SQL Server table, which will be file name. So let me close this one. And I just want to load both of the files. So this is my SSIS package. Right now it is empty. We will be using a for each loop container to loop through both the files, and then we will be using a script task to get the file name from the file path. So first of all, let's declare two SSIS variables. One variable we can call it like file path. Data type can be of string, and another SSIS variable we can declare with name file name, and data type will be string as well. Now let me just drag and drop a for each loop container into the control flow window. Let's configure the for each loop container. Right click and edit for each loop container, and then click on collection. From the enumerator, just select the for each file enumerator, and then under folder just select the folder from where we want to load the data to. So our files are situated under D files folder, so just click OK. We can leave the file type as it is because right now there are just two CSV files, and then click on variable mappings. From here just select the file path variable, click on OK. So that's the only thing that we need to do for the for each loop container. Now to get the file name, we need to use a script task. So just drag and drop the script task, and maybe you can rename it get file name. Okay, and right click and click edit, and then under read only variables we need to select the file path user variable, and then under read write variables we need to use the file name because we want to overwrite the value of the file name. Then click edit. So this will open an IDE for writing the C# code. We just want to write just single line of code to get the file name, so it's very straightforward, and maybe I can just paste that particular line in the description of the video if you want to just copy and paste that thing. Alright, so let's write our code here. dts.variables, then file name dot value, and it will be overwritten by system.io dot path dot get file name. And now let me copy and paste this thing here. Just change the file name with the file path because we want to get it from the file path dot value dot to string. We close this one so that you can see the code completely. So this is just one line of code. What we are trying to do, we are trying to get the file name from here from the file path SSIS variable. Okay, and that particular value will be assigned to the file name SSIS variable. So let me just close this one. Okay, so this is done. Now let me just quickly drag and drop data flow task into this for each loop container, connect the script task with the data flow task, and then in the sources let's use a flat file source. Right click flat file source, click edit new to make a new flat file connection, browse the file, change CSV because the file is CSV type, click open, and then under preview you can see that data is fine, click OK, and then columns. Okay, so the flat file connection is done. Okay, so to use the file name SSIS variable we will need to use the derived column transformation. So just drag and drop derived column transformation, connect flat file source with the derived column, and then configure derived column transformation. Now from the variables and parameter, just drag and drop file name into the expression, and you can call this as file name. Okay, and let me just give the data type for this one, which will be dt underscore str comma 50 comma 1252. It will be of varchar 50. Click OK, and then let me just drag and drop the OLEDB destination and connect the derived column with the OLEDB's destination. Right click and edit OLEDB destination. Create a new connection. So I have SSIS database on my SQL Server 2019 instance, but right now we don't have any tables in the SSIS database. I will be creating the SQL Server table from the SSIS package itself. So just select the connection. So this is the connection that I already created. Click OK, and then from the data access mode, change table or view to table or view fast load. So it does the bulk insert thing. So just click new, and we can name the table as emails. So you can see that one extra column has been added, which is a file name, and these columns will come from the CSV file, while this file name column will be coming from the file name SSIS variable. Click OK, and then click on mapping. So the columns have been mapped automatically. Just click OK, and now let's make the flat file connection manager dynamic so that it can load all the files. So just click on expressions, and then from the property we need to use the connection string, and then under expressions we need to use the file path, because file path SSIS variable will be changed by the for each loop iteration. So just click OK. Alright, so now let's execute the SSIS package, and it should load data from two files. So you can see from two files 10 records loaded from each of the files. So if you go to the SSIS database and just expand the table, so there is an emails table, and then if you select the data from this table, so you will see that there are 20 records. So first 10 records are from first file email underscore 20210620, and then the rest of the 11 records are from the another file, because even the ID for the first 10 records start from 1 to 10, and then for second file the ID starts from 11 until 20. So you can see the value of the file name is coming from the file path. So guys, this is how we can get the file name, and then we can insert that value into SQL Server table. Thank you guys for watching this particular video, and if you like the video, then please click the like button and do subscribe to our channel to see more videos on SSIS and SQL Server. Thank you so much.